Good hygiene is important when you're skinning. A lot of these animals have parasites and some have diseases that can be passed on to people. I like to use just regular latex gloves when I'm skinning. It keeps your hands clean. When you're done, go in and wash your hands with soap and water. First thing we need to do is brush them out, get all the burrs out. Looks pretty clean. But this is going to be our best chance to clean them up nicely before we actually start skinning. And after you're finished skinning, it's real difficult. This gets all any blood and burrs and other materials out of the fur. Presentation is important if you want to get the most money you can get for a particular pelt. The first cut is going to be from this heel straight across up to this heel. And then the next cut is going to be on either side of the anus in a V, like that. The only other cut I'll make is about halfway down the tail. I like to get a good straight shot. A sharp knife is really helpful. It sounds strange, but when you aren't fighting against the blade, you're a lot less likely to make a mistake or injure yourself. I'm going to come in around here. Some people just run the knife around there. If you do it from the outside, you dull your knife more quickly. I like to try and keep my good knives in good working order and keep them that way so I don't have to spend a lot of time sharpening. Next thing I'm going to do is just give me a little piece to grab on either side of the cut there, on both legs, just to kind of get me started. And peel down both legs. On here, if you grab the pelt right there and kind of roll your hand, that'll free it up from behind the tail and open up the tail so you can work on that. There's a lot of fat here, so I'm going to cut them down. Strip it about halfway. The pelt hangs up. Let's free it up a little bit. Next I'm going to use the tail strippers. It has 3 different sizes of holes. Just pick one and with a quick downward motion peel the tail out like that. I always come back so I don't forget and finish opening up the tail. You're going to have to do it sooner or later. This is a good time to make sure it's done. Come on over to this side. Now the belly fur isn't particularly valuable. They do use it for tying flies and some things like that. So if you leave a little bit of belly fur on there, it's not a problem. We'll just go around the sex organs. get it started. Take your fist and pull out like that, and run your fist down on both sides, and it'll follow. Pull the pelt down. If you have trouble here on the older animals, there's a lot more musculature, and it's tougher to pop this mesentery off the arm. This guy's a younger raccoon that's a little bit easier. After that, stick your finger through in front of the arm, in between the pelt and the muscle, and pull. Same thing on the other side, finger through and pull. The arms don't have any commercial value. You'll be trimming those later. This is where I like to use just a real cheap serrated knife. I'm going to be making contact with the skull. Rather than dull my knife, I'm just going to use this wonderful 99-cent tool. We're going to come in contact with the ears. Here you can see the part of the ear sticking through from the back. Over here on this side, I've cut through it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and cut through that on both sides. A lot of skinning has to do with leverage, and I like to use those ear holes. To help me leverage the pelt off the skull the rest of the way. Here we're coming into the teeth and lips on that side. Free it up on that side, you can hear it. Here's one of the molars. And right here are going to be the eyes. We need to be careful here and just follow along the skull. And pull those off. Again, the head has no commercial value, but if you want to make the most out of the pelt, we want a nice uniform look to it. We're going to cut off, I'm going to cut the fur off of the bottom jaw here, separate it. We'll be all finished there. And on the top, we'll just follow that down till we get to the nose. And you can feel the cartilage associated with the nose. You get down to the end, just cut through that, and we have the pelt free. This is the guard hair. This long hair is the guard hair, and underneath, the real fuzzy, fine hair is called the underfur on any animal, including raccoons. As far as color goes, this raccoon has a nice, fairly bright color. If you want to know, look at the tail. just a nice silver next to the black would be an A color. That's the most desirable. This would probably be a B. When you get into yellows and reddish colors in between, that's going to go in the C pile. Basically, we aren't grading for the tail, but when the pelt is turned inside out and stretched and dried, that's something that you can look at real quickly to determine the color of the pelt.